So then, this 17 minutes qualifying session is now underway. Turn 12. Doesn't really maximise the entry there, missing the apex, but he does carry on then through the final two corners where the tyres are absolutely crying out loud, but the driver wants to ignore it and complete their lap. Push Storm though, running wide through the final corner. That is going to do him no good whatsoever. It is a 33.2 from Push Storm. Expect that to be beaten. It instantly is by X Busby on a 130.8. Funky Delia slots in right behind the Ferrari. Then Moose displaces Funky Delia. He's now up to second in the Haas. Krusty Waffle now. Krusty Waffle is quickest on a 130.5, just ahead of the Curdray, then Hydrant on a 130. In fact, he has blitzed the field there with a provisional pole time that is nearly half a second clear of the chasing pack. And Shadows in the Mercedes now is up into P3, just ahead of Krusty Waffle. So then it is an Aston Martin from a Red Bull from a Mercedes. How much of a wake-up call will that Scofie be, Matt? Of course, on the medium compound tyres, that's a very competitive lap time, I'd say.
Yeah, that is a very good lap there from Scofie. 130.6 on mediums as well.
So Jowie in the Alpine will soon close out his lap. He currently sits in P14 at his team's home race. P14 turns into P7, my apologies there. That's an encouraging lap time from the Alpine, who has improved significantly, and that, well, is going to bring out a massive smile for him.
Moss coming around the final corner on the long straight now. So we can put in on those softs. So 130.8, only P11.
Where the tyres really are tested. This is where, you'd want the grip to be upheld, and we the best now. Quickest, pretty much on a 130, flat 1,000th of a second, is really not that far off it. But by 32,000th of a second, he's at the top of the leaderboard amongst the front runners in this session, and he does just that. P3 now for the AlphaTauri, and that has thrusted him right back into contention. That is indeed, and that could be make or break come the sprint. Starting from P8, although you're in the top 10, you're in the middle of the pack, and that can really severely dampen your progress in the race, as opposed to starting in the top 4, something like the top 4. You really are in the thick of the action out in front. These are most probably going to be these drivers' final runs in these sessions, so they're going to have to eke out every inch of potential that they possess.
So Theo missed the apex in the final corner, and the Williams behind also lost the back end, so both of them going to have to try and save battery and stay out on these tyres if they want to get another lap in.
Let's see then, as he opens DRS, you can see the crowd to his left-hand side, but he's very much focused on improving, and he's quickest of the lot. That is a mighty, marvellous and magnificent final sector from Shadows. And wow, he has laid down a marker which is going to be something that the rest are going to have to rise to in, admirable circumstances, because at 29.8, what a final sector that was. Is now going through the chicane. Hydrant is just about approaching it. You have yellow flags out in sector 2. That's because Atomic Drax, who was in... Oh no, this is sector 1 there. So Atomic Drax, who looked like he was going to possibly improve, or was going to hope to improve, he's gone for Adventure Off-Road, and that has severely dealt him a major blow in this session. Best though is improving through the first 2 sectors. Could pole position be his? Shadows, very late in this session, has given the likes of Best and Hydrant something to think about. How does the Red Bull though respond? He comes around the final corner. He will rage towards the checkered flag. Will it be pole position for the Red Bull? Shadows had a mighty final sector. Best, he improves, but not by enough. Hydrant then, he's improving significantly, and pole position once again is his. 29.6.
Another 2 tenths. Another 2 tenths clear of Shadows there, so we have got a good race on our hands if these guys can put in some decent laps here.
And Matt, we
great time there.
Yeah, we definitely have a great race ahead of us.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of strategies here. It is only a sprint, so it is only 13 laps, but that means they're going to be more adamant than ever to want to try and get these positions. Some great stuff there.
Like I said, will he have the lead? We have 5 red lights on ahead of the drivers. At circuit Paul Ricard, we are underway. Good start there from Hydrant. It seems like he is going to maintain the race lead as the drivers head on towards turn 1. To see if they can all make it through there cleanly, or it seems like a bit of bodywork has been lost from a few drivers scattered across the track. Ex-Busby and KOT have encountered troubles. The virtual safety car has been deployed. Then the safety car has been...
Full safety car there.
And it seems like all we have had trouble. Midnight and Moose KOT have all...
Ooh, it's a big crash there. That's a huge crash down there just before the end of Sector 1.
It is indeed. You can see the front of their cars written off.
Unfortunately, it's just one of those things. You can't predict the safety car on some tracks. And Hydrant jumped into the pits.
Absolutely then. So this is going to be an eye-opener. He is going to have to overtake a lot of drivers and it's onto the hards. So then, well then, this could be a moment of inspiration. It could be a moment of absolute madness too. Hydrant had the pace in qualifying, but what he would have hoped would be domination out in front is going to have to become determination coming through the pack. He sits in 10th as Hydrant. So then, We The Best is now becomes the de facto safety car as the actual safety car peels off into the pits. But when does We The Best choose to go? Because, as Matt Zuvo exercised on Friday, going early at a safety car restart actually can work against you because you have that long run towards turn 1 as the driver behind has the slipstream down the pit straight. But if you can maximise the restart through the final corner, you've put yourself in a very healthy position. But I think the Red Bull is about to go and the green flag is now out. And we're back racing here at circuit. Paul Ricard's We The Best then leads the pack ahead of Jay Headley. High Crusty Waffle is in 3rd place in the Alfa Romeo. Then comes Keys Board. Seems like Connor and Jowry are going side by side. Having said that, Jowry has ghosted, but Scopey now gets past Bullet. So the Aston Martin advancing up into 6th place on towards turn 3. Hydrant now wants to get past the Alfa Romeo, and every little misjudgment from a driver ahead could cost the Aston Martin here. He needs to get past the Alfa Romeo if he wants to put himself in a promising position to win this race. But he gets a lovely exit down on towards the Mistral Straight, and the Alfa Romeo is now behind him in his mirrors. And it's not what he would have wanted one bit. Moz now around the outside of a Curdray. This is the battle for 8th place at the Brewing at the moment with a Curdray lurking in the distance. He looks to the inside of turn 3. It comes to no avail. But hectic stuff in the safety car restart. It seems like Hydrant has got a decent enough start, so he hasn't really lost out at the safety car restart.
The battle for P8 is still brewing. You've got Funky, Acre and Theo, all 3 of them within a 10th maybe of each other, and they're still fighting hard for every position. No DRS yet, obviously 3 laps after the safety car, but they're going to be fighting this out until the safety car, and it's just going to be interesting and fun to watch, I think.
Curdray does not want to lose sight of Funky Delia, and he wants his place ahead of him. They're going to rage on towards the 18th corner, and they collide once and twice. Oh, thankfully they are still in this race, but aggressive driving, perhaps getting beyond what you'd expect of them. Thankfully they are still in this race, but this battle is boiling. We The Best now pits, so too does Jay Headley, so seems like this has actually worked very handsomely for Hydrant. Scofie runs wide through the final corner, and Hydrant would like to say thank you very much. But as DRS is now enabled, I think he may have a chance down the Mistral Straight later on this lap, but he looks to the outside of turn 1, does Hydrant, and he has the place ahead of his teammates. The Hydrant now running in second place, while his rivals Weed Best is going to come out just ahead of Jowry and down in 11th place.
Interesting to see as well, both the Aston Martins, it almost looked like Scofie was pulling off to the side to give space to Hydrant to let him by. So I wonder if that was a team order being played into their hands there.
Oh, Connor there struggling on towards the Mistral straight, thankfully. He is still in this race, but that was a hair-raising moment there for the Mercedes, and Moz is going to capitalise upon that little opportunity for him, and he says thank you very much as he goes down the inside into the chicane, and fourth place is now occupied by here the distance. Funky Delia and Theo are too, and it is past, or B past, as Funky Delia spotted a late braking opportunity past the Curdray. He almost went off the road, and Theo was about to claim 7th place, but that has just not worked out for him at the moment. But down the Mistral straight, Moz is going to have to look in his mirrors. Is he going to defend on towards the chicane? Is the Mercedes going to defend on towards the chicane? They're going to go side by side. The Mercedes initially emerged ahead, but the AlphaTauri fights back, and then Connor has lost out. A Curdray is up into 5th. Is he going to turn that into 4th though? Because even
Funky has come off at the straight, at the chicane.
So Funky Delia there encountering, Funky Delia encountering problems there. Moz though is a Curdray is ahead of Moz. Can Connor put himself up into 5th? He can, but the AlphaTauri is going to fight back. They're going to go side by side through turn 12. The Mercedes wants to claim the road, but the AlphaTauri says, don't even think about it. He's now up into 5th, and he can reset his sights upon a Curdray's 4th place. It's a terrific battle. It really is a terrific battle. Having said that, Scofie's actually now ahead of Hydrant, so it seems like Aston Martin really are using the DRS effect really well as Connor down the inside into turn 1 of Moz. They're going to make it side by side through there just, but it is Moz who got the better line, and he keeps that 4th place for the moment. Towards the chicane, the Mercedes hunts for that inside line. He's hunting for 2nd place. Is it going to work? It doesn't for the moment. That AlphaTauri has him where he wants him for the moment, but he's not able to escape from his mercy at the moment. It seems like Theo struggled off of the exit there, and it is still a two-way battle between Moz and Connor going into the boat space side by side. The Mercedes has the inside line. He gets ahead, and he wants to solidify his place in 4th, which I think he's about to do. Connor then finally ahead of Moz, and that Mercedes, well, he does not want to lose sight of a Curdray's 3rd place. Connor and Moz have been inseparable in the past few laps. Moz has reclaimed 4th place. Connor offered little resistance there, such was the AlphaTauri's speed down the Mistral straight. And these two are swapping positions corner after corner, lap after lap, and we are just loving it. There he comes back out. There is a significant...
I think he's going to be coming out in the bottom end. He's not going to be in the points, I believe.
It's a shame for him. He's, been running at the front in this race, but it doesn't look like it'll turn into points. So Connor looked to the inside of turn 1. He almost had a massive accident down the straight as he moved out of Moz's wheel tracks. But thankfully he has kept it all in one piece, and he will have to reassert his presence on the track. But now Connor is chasing down the AlphaTauri of Moz down the Mistral straight. Is he going to look to the inside? Once again he does, and there is contact, and Connor does spin.
Contact there. Theo there taking an evasive manoeuvre, but getting that position. He was waiting for them to make that mistake. And now Theo just needs to close in on Moz. Theo might have his chance in the last lap to get that holding position.
And Connor thought he had his chance, but it has all gone horridly for the Mercedes. Connor, well, is he going to defend into the chicane? Does he have a choice? He does, and he is going to defend to the inside. His teammate's going to look for the outside line, but 5th place is not here to the moment. Scofie has progressed past pushed on. He is now in 10th place, and he can hunt Weederbest down for 9th place in this race. So if he can utilise the next few miles to absolute perfection, it could be a decent points haul for Scofie, but not perhaps the one.
Bullet on the inside. Oh, Bullet and Busby there getting mixed up. Fortunately, Bullet coming out not as fortunate. Theo could go for a podium position here. He's 4/10 behind
Oh, and
the
it's a spin for
the Alfa
Funky
Romeo.
Didier. Funky Didier going side by side with High Crusty Waffle, and he is fared off worst. He's through the escape road near the barriers, and he's going to lose out substantially on this final lap. The swap around between the two Mercedes, I think it is, because Shadows around the outside has the speed, has the position as well. Connor will try to fight back, but it will just come to no avail for him. So Connor, who was fighting for the podium places, it's going to be most probably a 6th place finish. Scofie hunting down Best on towards Scene Corner. He is closing meter by meter. He's going to look to the inside line into the Bose. Is he going to make it through, or they get perilously close? But Scofie just about gets ahead of Best, who has to concede the position, but out in front.
Hydrant is coming across the line in 2 seconds.
He is indeed. He hunts down the checkered flag, and the circuit, Paul Ricard, bows before his brilliant Hydrant converts Hull into the race win, and he wins ahead of a Curdray. Moz comes home in 3rd ahead of Theo. Shadows ahead of Connor. I Crusty Waffle in 7th. Scofie, though, is spun through the final corner. He's now reversing down the pitch straight, and he's going to be losing the positions. So it's going to be push Storm in 8th. Surely, Scofie, you want to spin it around and go forwards. Oh, he's not even going to finish in the points, is Scofie. So he's had a problem.
Yeah, just a mistake there.
It's a problem through the final corner. It's a mistake through the final corner for the Aston Martin, and that is going to deprive him of a points finish whilst his teammate soaks in celebratory sensation. Scofie is going to be pointless here at Paul Ricard.
So yeah, that is it. Hydrant there getting a perfect strategy, P1 on the grid, and coming first in the race as well. Great stuff to see from Hydrant. Great stuff. Also down the bottom, getting a few DNFs, but all was good racing. There was some hard fighting there, but it all seemed fairly neat and clean for the most part. It was a great race. Happy to see this kind of stuff. A few penalties as expected with the issues with the corner cutting here, but obviously regular corner cutting, it does cause a bit of an issue. But all in all, not too bad of a race. Push Storm, driver of the day, P18 to P9, having his grid. Great stuff from him. And yeah, the next track will be Canada. It will be Jules Villeneuve in Canada, and it's going to be Tier 2 Wednesday at 8 PM.